One of the questions I am asked most often is what the best way to learn machine learning is if you want to get your first job in the field. It's a question that carries enormous weight, especially as you stand at a crossroads, considering a future as a machine learning engineer, a data scientist, or an AI researcher. Each path presents a unique set of challenges and opportunities, and the decision you make now will shape your entire professional journey. How should you acquire the skills you desperately need to break into this competitive landscape? Should you make the significant financial and time investment in a master's degree, or perhaps join an intensive bootcamp? Maybe the freedom of self-study is more your style, or you could simply start building your own projects from scratch. Today, my goal is to break down what truly works and what doesn't. This isn't based on speculation or old advice. It's grounded in hard data from recent job market analyses and my own years of experience as a career coach and mentor in the artificial intelligence and machine learning space. I've seen firsthand what leads to success and what leads to frustration. My objective is to empower you to make a deeply informed decision, one that aligns perfectly with your personal circumstances, your financial reality, and your ultimate career objectives. Making the right choice here is critical for your future success in this exciting and rapidly expanding industry. The stakes are incredibly high. Choosing the wrong path isn't just a minor setback, it can be a catastrophic mistake. It could mean wasting tens of thousands of dollars on a degree you didn't actually need, or losing years of your valuable time on a program that doesn't deliver the skills employers are looking for. Even worse, you could find yourself stuck in a career trajectory that simply doesn't match your long-term goals or personal passions, leading to burnout and dissatisfaction. This is why we need to carefully examine the factors that will influence your success, ensuring you invest your resources wisely and effectively from the very beginning of your journey. To make the most strategic choice, we must consider several critical factors. First and foremost are the job market requirements and the expectations of hiring managers. What are companies actually looking for on a resume right now? Then, we have to honestly assess the investment you will need to make, both in terms of money and your precious time. We also cannot ignore the significant opportunity costs involved with stepping away from the workforce. And of course, your personal learning style and unique life circumstances will play a huge role in determining which educational environment will allow you to thrive and succeed. So, what exactly are your options when it comes to breaking into the dynamic world of machine learning? While every individual's journey is unique, people typically follow one of four main paths. Each of these routes offers a distinct combination of structure, cost, timeline, and outcomes, making it crucial to understand the nuances of each one before you commit. The first and perhaps most accessible path is self-study. This approach involves charting your own course, learning through a vast ocean of online courses, comprehensive books, and hands-on projects that you design and build yourself. It's the path of the autodidact, requiring immense discipline and a clear vision. Next on our list are bootcamps. These are intensive, highly structured programs designed to take you from novice to job-ready in a compressed time frame, typically lasting anywhere from 3 to 12 months. They promise a curriculum that is tightly aligned with current industry demands, focusing on practical skills and portfolio development. Boot camps are built for speed and efficiency, offering a direct route into the job market for those who are ready to fully immerse themselves in a rigorous learning environment. They often provide career services and a built-in peer network, which can be invaluable for newcomers trying to navigate the hiring process and land their first role. The third option is the more traditional route of pursuing a master's degree. These are graduate-level programs at universities, usually taking 1 to 3 years to complete, and they offer degrees in specialized fields like machine learning, computer science, data science, or other related quantitative disciplines. This path provides a deep theoretical foundation, a prestigious and globally recognized credential, and access to extensive university resources including vast alumni networks and direct pipelines to internships and jobs at major corporations. For many, the structure and credibility of a formal degree are essential for opening doors to top-tier companies and more advanced roles. Finally, we have the most academically rigorous option, the PhD program. These are 4 to 6 year, research-focused doctoral degrees that are designed for individuals who want to push the boundaries of knowledge in artificial intelligence. This is the path for aspiring AI researchers who dream of working at leading labs like OpenAI or DeepMind, creating the novel algorithms and models that will define the future of the field. While it demands an extraordinary long-term commitment, A PhD offers unparalleled depth of expertise and the opportunity to contribute foundational work to the science of AI, positioning you at the absolute cutting edge of innovation. Let's begin by exploring the path of self-study, which is often the most appealing starting point for many aspiring machine learning practitioners due to its unparalleled flexibility and minimal financial barrier. The cost of this path can range from virtually nothing to perhaps a few $100s for high-quality online courses, textbooks, and cloud computing resources. The timeline is entirely in your hands. You control the pace, deciding when and how deeply to dive into specific topics. This autonomy allows you to tailor your curriculum precisely to your interests and career goals, focusing on cutting-edge technologies that might not have made their way into formal academic programs yet. It's an ideal choice for those who are highly motivated, self-disciplined, and enjoy the process of discovery and independent problem-solving. One of the most significant advantages of self-study is the minimal opportunity cost, a critical factor for anyone who cannot afford to leave their current job. You can learn during evenings and weekends, integrating your studies into your existing life without sacrificing your income. However, this freedom comes with a considerable challenge. It requires an immense amount of self-discipline and organizational skill. You are solely responsible for creating your own structured learning plan, sourcing credible materials, staying motivated without external deadlines, and assessing your own progress. Without a clear roadmap or the accountability that comes with a formal program, it's very easy to get lost in a sea of tutorials or lose momentum over time. This path is for the true self-starter. In stark contrast to the solitary journey of self-study, we have bootcamps. These programs offer an intensive, structured, and accelerated path into the tech industry. The financial commitment is more substantial, with tuition typically ranging from $5,000 to over $20,000. In exchange for this investment, you receive a highly focused curriculum designed to make you job-ready in a condensed timeline, usually between 3 and 12 months. The curriculum is laser-focused on the practical, in-demand skills that employers are looking for right now, often omitting deeper theoretical concepts in favor of hands-on, project-based learning. This approach is designed for rapid transformation, aiming to equip you with a professional-grade portfolio in a short period. The structured nature of a bootcamp, with its rigorous schedule and regular deadlines, provides the momentum and accountability that many learners need to succeed. Many programs also offer part-time options, allowing you to maintain your current employment while you reskill, which significantly mitigates the financial risk. Furthermore, bootcamps often provide robust career support services, including résumé workshops, interview preparation, and direct introductions to hiring partners. The built-in cohort model also creates a valuable peer network that can provide support during the job search and throughout your career. A bootcamp is a high-intensity sprint designed to get you across the finish line and into a new job as quickly as possible. Now let's turn our attention to the more traditional academic routes, starting with the master's degree. This path represents a significant commitment in both time and money. A full-time program typically takes 1 to 2 years to complete, while part-time options can extend this to 3 years or more. The financial investment varies dramatically, from relatively affordable online programs like Georgia Tech's renowned online Master of Science in Computer Science, which can cost around $10,000, to elite on-campus programs at private universities that can easily exceed $100,000 in tuition alone. This path is designed for those seeking a deep, theoretical understanding of the field combined with a prestigious and globally recognized credential. The primary advantage of a master's degree is the institutional credibility it confers. This credential can be a powerful key for unlocking doors at large competitive companies and can be essential for certain roles or for international students requiring visa sponsorship. The structured curriculum provides a comprehensive and foundational education that goes far beyond the practical skills taught in a boot camp. You also gain access to a powerful university ecosystem, which includes an extensive alumni network, direct connections to faculty who are often leaders in their fields, and well-established recruiting pipelines with major corporations. However, the opportunity cost can be immense if you choose to study full-time, as you will be foregoing 1 to 2 years of salary and work experience. Finally, we arrive at the most demanding and specialized path, the PhD program. This is a multi-year journey, typically lasting 4 to 6 years, dedicated almost entirely to original research. Unlike other educational paths, PhD programs are usually funded, This means your tuition is waived, and you receive a modest stipend, often between $30,000 and $40,000 per year, to cover living expenses. While this sounds appealing, it's crucial to understand the enormous opportunity cost involved. Over the course of the program, you could be giving up hundreds of thousands or even over $1 million in potential earnings compared to what you could make in an industry role during that same period. This path is not for someone simply looking for a job. It is for those with a profound passion for research and a desire to contribute new knowledge to the field of artificial intelligence. The goal of a PhD is to create an expert in a very narrow subfield, someone capable of advancing the state of the art. This deep expertise is a non-negotiable requirement for landing a role as an AI researcher at top-tier industrial labs like DeepMind, Google Brain, or OpenAI. While the financial trade-off is significant, the reward is the opportunity to work at the absolute frontier of innovation, creating the very technologies that will shape our future. It is the ultimate commitment to a life of scientific inquiry. Now that we understand the different paths, let's dive into what hiring managers and companies are actually looking for. It's easy to get lost in the debate over which credential is best, but the truth is written in black and white on thousands of job descriptions posted every single day. To get a clear picture, we need to look at the data. For data science roles, the preference for formal education is strong. Recent analyses show that somewhere between 70% and 80% of job listings mention a degree preference, with a significant portion, roughly half, specifically requesting a graduate degree. For entry-level data scientist positions, a master's degree has increasingly become the de facto standard, setting a high bar for newcomers. For machine learning engineer positions, the landscape is a bit more flexible, but credentials still matter a great deal. Many companies are open to candidates with a solid bachelor's degree in computer science or a related engineering field, provided they can demonstrate strong software engineering fundamentals. However, you can't ignore the fact that about 22% of these roles still explicitly require a master's degree, and a surprising 36% request a PhD. That is certainly not a trivial number, and it indicates that even for these more implementation-focused roles, advanced education is highly valued by a large segment of employers, particularly at more established and research-oriented companies. Then we have the AI researcher roles, a category where the educational requirements are far less ambiguous. If your dream is to work at a pioneering lab like OpenAI, DeepMind, or a corporate research division, creating novel algorithms and pushing the boundaries of what is possible, a PhD is overwhelmingly required. These positions are not about applying existing models, they are about inventing new ones. The job descriptions for these roles almost universally list a doctorate as a minimum qualification. This is the one corner of the industry where the path is crystal clear. To become a top-tier researcher, you must commit to the long and arduous journey of earning a PhD. But we all know that job postings can sometimes feel like a wish list, rather than a list of hard requirements. You might be wondering how much it actually matters if you don't perfectly match the listed educational qualifications. Does a preference for a master's degree mean you have no chance with just a bachelor's and a strong portfolio? The answer is complex and depends heavily on the company's size, culture, and hiring processes. While some hiring managers are willing to look past the credentials for exceptional talent, many organizations have rigid systems in place that make this incredibly difficult, which brings us to the challenge of the automated gatekeepers. One of the harshest realities of the modern job market is that your application will likely be judged by a machine before a human ever lays eyes on it. Many companies, especially larger ones that receive hundreds or thousands of applications for a single role, rely on applicant tracking systems, or ATS. These are resume scanning systems that are programmed to filter candidates based on specific keywords and qualifications. If a job posting lists a master's degree as a requirement, the ATS can be configured to automatically screen out and reject any resume that doesn't include it. Your carefully crafted application could be discarded without any human consideration whatsoever. This automated filtering is a major hurdle for self-taught individuals or those with non-traditional backgrounds. It means that even if you have the skills, the projects, and the drive to excel in the role, you might never get the chance to prove it. The system acts as an unforgiving gatekeeper, enforcing the educational requirements listed in the job description with cold, algorithmic precision. This is why the debate over credentials is so important. In many cases, Having the right degree on your resume isn't just about impressing a hiring manager. It's about surviving the initial digital cull and making it into the maybe pile for human review. So, does this mean you absolutely need the degree mentioned in the job post? Not necessarily, but it does mean you need a strategy to get around the filter. If you lack the formal credentials, applying through the standard online portal is often the least effective approach. Your application has a high probability of being filtered out before it has a chance to make an impact. This is where networking becomes not just a helpful tool, but an essential survival tactic. A referral from a current employee can often bypass the ATS entirely, placing your resume directly in the hands of the hiring manager or a recruiter. This is a critical point to understand. The resume scanner is a barrier, but it is not an impenetrable wall. You just have to find a different door. Without the expected degree, your job search strategy must shift from mass applications to targeted outreach. You'll need to get creative and proactive. This involves building relationships, getting your work noticed by the right people, and leveraging your network to get a foot in the door. We will talk more about the specific strategies for overcoming this lack of credentials in a moment. But first, it's vital to recognize that the challenge is real and requires a deliberate and well-executed plan to overcome. If you're on a path that doesn't lead to a traditional degree, like self-study or a boot camp, your primary mission is to build a body of work so compelling that it forces people to overlook your lack of formal credentials. Your portfolio is no longer just a supplement to your resume, it becomes your resume. It needs to scream, "I can solve your problems," louder than your education section whispers, "I didn't go to grad school." This means you cannot afford to build simple, cookie-cutter projects that just replicate tutorials. You need to create projects that demonstrate a deep understanding of real-world business challenges and showcase your ability to deliver tangible value. Think about building a comprehensive, end-to-end machine learning system. This means you should not only train a model, but also handle the entire lifecycle data collection and cleaning, feature engineering, model deployment into a cloud environment, and building a simple front-end or API so others can interact with your work. Document your process thoroughly in a blog post or a detailed GitHub repository. Explain your technical decisions, the trade-offs you considered, and the results you achieved. This level of detail shows that you're not just a script kiddie, you are a genuine problem solver who understands how to build and ship production-ready systems. Another powerful way to stand out is by contributing to established open-source projects. This is one of the most respected forms of proof of work in the software development world. Making meaningful contributions to libraries like scikit-learn, TensorFlow, or PyTorch puts your code directly in front of some of the most experienced engineers and researchers in the field. It demonstrates not only your technical skills but also your ability to collaborate, read complex code bases, and adhere to high standards of software engineering. Landing a significant pull request in a major library can be more impressive to a hiring manager than a line item from a university course. Finally, you must become your own publicist. Create content that showcases your expertise. Write technical blog posts explaining complex concepts in a clear and accessible way. Give talks at local tech meetups or online conferences. Build a professional presence on platforms like LinkedIn or Twitter where you share your projects and engage in intelligent discussions about the latest trends in AI. This creates a social proof of your skills and passion. When a recruiter or hiring manager searches for your name, they should find a trail of evidence that paints a picture of a dedicated, knowledgeable, and proactive professional who would be a valuable asset to any team. When we talk about the cost of education, the first thing that usually comes to mind is the direct financial investment, the tuition fee that you have to pay. This sticker price varies dramatically across the 4 paths we've discussed, and understanding these differences is the first step in your calculation. For the self-study path, the direct cost is almost negligible. You can access a world-class education through free online resources, library books, and open-source documentation. Even if you choose to invest in premium online courses, specialized books, and cloud computing credits for your projects, your total outlay might only be a few hundred to perhaps $1,000, making it the most financially accessible option by far. Moving up the scale, we have bootcamps. These programs represent a more significant but still manageable financial commitment for many. As we touched on earlier, tuition typically falls in the range of $5,000 to $20,000. This is a substantial amount of money, but it is a one-time investment for a concentrated career-focused program. Many boot camps also offer financing options, scholarships, or even income share agreements, where you pay a percentage of your salary after you land a job. This model can reduce the upfront financial risk, making it a viable option for those who have the drive but lack the immediate capital for a more traditional degree. The master's degree is where the financial investment can become truly colossal. The cost spectrum is incredibly wide. On one end, you have excellent online programs like the one from Georgia Tech, which can provide a world-class master's degree for around $10,000. On the other end, a 2-year on-campus program at a top-tier private university in the United States can easily cost over $100,000 in tuition and fees alone. This doesn't even account for living expenses, which can add tens of thousands more to the final bill. This level of investment requires careful financial planning, and for many, it means taking on significant student loan debt that can impact financial decisions for years to come. Finally, we have the PhD program, which presents a unique financial model. As mentioned, these programs are typically funded, meaning you don't pay tuition, and you receive a stipend to cover your living expenses. On the surface, this sounds like a free education. However, it's crucial not to mistake funded for lucrative. The stipends, usually around $30,000 to $40,000 per year, are modest and often barely cover the cost of living in the expensive cities where top universities are located. While you aren't accumulating debt, you also aren't building savings or wealth. The direct financial cost is low, but as we are about to see, the hidden costs are enormous. The direct financial cost is only one part of the equation. A far more significant and often overlooked factor is the opportunity cost, specifically the income you give up by choosing to study instead of work. This is where the true cost of each path begins to crystallize, and the numbers can be staggering. For the self-study and part-time bootcamp paths, this cost is minimal. Because you can continue working your current job while you learn, you aren't sacrificing your income. This is a massive advantage for mid-career professionals or anyone with financial responsibilities who cannot afford a gap in employment. You are essentially adding skills without subtracting from your earnings. The calculation changes dramatically when you consider full-time programs. Let's take a full-time boot camp, which might last 6 months. If you were earning a salary of $70,000 per year, you would be giving up $35,000 in lost wages on top of your tuition. Now let's look at a 2-year full-time master's program. Using that same $70,000 salary, you are now looking at $140,000 in foregone earnings. When you add this to a potential $100,000 in tuition, your total investment in that master's degree skyrockets to nearly $250,000. This is a life-altering amount of money and illustrates why part-time or more affordable online options are so appealing. This brings us to the PhD, the path with the most astronomical opportunity cost. While you are receiving a stipend, it's a fraction of what a skilled software engineer or data scientist could earn in the industry. Let's be conservative and say that a master's graduate could earn an average of $150,000 per year. Over the 5 years you spend in a PhD program, that's $750,000 in potential earnings. If you subtract the roughly $200,000 you might make from your stipend over that period, you are still looking at an opportunity cost of over $500,000. For a senior engineer leaving a high-paying job, this figure could easily exceed $1 million. This financial calculation is deeply personal and depends entirely on your current situation. A recent undergraduate with a low starting salary might view the opportunity cost of a master's degree as a worthwhile investment for a long-term salary boost. However, for a mid-career professional already earning a 6-figure salary, stepping away from the workforce for 2 years represents a much larger financial sacrifice. You must be brutally honest with yourself about these numbers. You need to calculate not just the tuition, but the full economic impact of the time you will spend out of the job market. This hidden cost is often the most important factor in the entire decision. Beyond the numbers, your investment of time and money buys you different kinds of returns that aren't always easy to quantify. Each path provides a unique set of assets that can accelerate your career in different ways. The self-study path, while low in cost, requires you to build everything from scratch. The return on your investment of time is a highly customized skill set and a portfolio that is uniquely yours. It also builds immense self-reliance and problem-solving skills, which are incredibly valuable character traits. However, you gain very little in terms of external validation or a built-in network, which means you have to work much harder to prove your worth to employers. A bootcamp investment is primarily an investment in speed and structure. You are paying for a curated curriculum, a clear roadmap from A to B, and a support system designed to get you a job as quickly as possible. The return is a practical skill set, a polished portfolio, and often access to a network of hiring partners. You are essentially buying an accelerated transition into a new career. The trade-off is that the knowledge can be less deep, and the credential carries less weight than a formal degree. It's a pragmatic choice focused on immediate employment rather than long-term academic prestige or deep theoretical understanding. Investing in a master's degree buys you a powerful and enduring asset: institutional credibility. The degree is a globally recognized signal of competence and dedication. This credential can open doors that might otherwise remain closed, particularly at large, prestigious companies or in more traditional industries. You are also buying access to a powerful ecosystem, a deep alumni network, career services with established corporate relationships, and connections to faculty at the forefront of research. This investment is about building a strong foundational platform for long-term career growth and gaining access to a higher tier of opportunities from the very start of your career. Finally, the immense investment of time and opportunity cost in a PhD buys you something unique: expertise. You emerge not just as a practitioner but as an authority in a specific narrow domain. This is the price of admission to the world of cutting-edge research. The return is the chance to work on problems that no one else has solved and to contribute to the fundamental advancement of science. While the financial return may or may not eventually outpace that of an industry-focused master's graduate, the primary return is the intellectual freedom and the opportunity to work at the absolute frontier of human knowledge, a reward that for some is priceless. Landing a great job isn't just about skills, it's about who you know. Networking is a huge, often underestimated factor. Universities offer access to global alumni networks, loyal classmates, and faculty with industry ties. These connections can open doors to jobs and collaborations. Career fairs and recruiting events at universities create direct pipelines to top employers, making job placement much easier. Boot camps, meanwhile, focus on targeted practical connections. Their success depends on job placement, so they partner closely with companies seeking new talent. You'll meet guest speakers, mentors, and instructors working in the field, instantly expanding your network. The intense, collaborative environment of a boot camp forges strong bonds with your cohort people who become your support system and future colleagues. Boot camps prioritize practical, job-focused networking over broad institutional prestige. Whether you choose a university or boot camp, the right network can be your biggest career asset. Self-study means building your network from scratch. It's all on you. You must actively attend meetups, conferences, and online events, and push yourself to connect with others. Contributing to open-source projects is a powerful way to get noticed by experienced developers and potential mentors. Engaging in online communities like Slack, Discord, or Reddit helps you build relationships and showcase your expertise. Direct outreach on LinkedIn works best when you personalize your messages and show genuine interest in others' work. Your projects and content on GitHub or a blog become your calling card and proof of your skills. This approach requires initiative, persistence, and social confidence. For self-taught learners, networking isn't optional, it's essential. Mastering these skills is the key to turning self-study into career success. Machine learning evolves fast, and each learning path handles this challenge differently. University curricula can lag behind industry trends due to slow updates, so you might miss out on the latest tools and practices. Boot camps adapt quickly, updating content to match employer needs and often hiring instructors who work in the field. Self-study offers ultimate flexibility. You can learn new tools or frameworks as soon as they emerge. But without guidance, it's easy to chase trends that don't last or get lost in endless tutorials. PhD programs can put you ahead in a narrow research area, sometimes even ahead of industry, but often lack practical engineering training. No matter your path, staying current means being proactive and seeking out the latest knowledge. Adaptability is crucial for long-term success in this field. There's no one-size-fits-all path. Your best option depends on your target role, life situation, and learning style. For aspiring data scientists, a master's degree is ideal if you need a strong quantitative foundation and value-structured learning. Online master's programs can offer flexibility and a respected credential. Boot camps are great for those with a technical background who want to pivot quickly and gain practical job-ready skills. Look for boot camps with strong job placement rates and real-world projects. The self-taught route is for those with exceptional discipline and networking ability. Success here means building an impressive portfolio that stands out. Whichever path you choose, focus on building skills and a portfolio that make you irresistible to employers. The right combination of knowledge, projects, and connections is what gets you hired. For machine learning engineers, software skills and systems design matter most. If you have a technical degree, self-study and project building can get you into startups or mid-sized companies. Practical skills often outweigh credentials here. Build a portfolio that proves you can deploy models and write clean, scalable code. For top tech companies or leadership roles, a master's degree is a valuable asset and often a screening requirement. Choose programs with hands-on courses in MLOps, scalable systems, and AI engineering. A PhD is rarely necessary for ML engineering roles. The opportunity cost is too high. Focus on gaining real-world experience and practical skills that match your target job. The right mix of education and hands-on work will set you apart. If you want to be an AI researcher, a PhD is almost always required. It's the ticket to top research labs. These roles are about inventing new algorithms, not just applying existing ones. Only pursue this path if you're passionate about advancing the field and ready for a long, challenging journey. Rare exceptions exist, but most researchers need a doctorate and a record of published work. Alternatively, consider building your own ML-powered product or service. Entrepreneurship lets you bypass traditional gatekeepers. Success is measured by your product, not your credentials. This path demands risk tolerance and a broad skill set, but offers unmatched freedom and impact. For the right person, starting a business can be more rewarding than any job. Whether you choose research or entrepreneurship, both paths require deep commitment and a drive to create real value. Ultimately, the journey into a machine learning career is a deeply personal one, and the best path is the one that aligns with your unique destination and circumstances. We've explored the intricate trade-offs between self-study, boot camps, master's degrees, and PhDs, weighing them against job market requirements, financial costs, networking opportunities, and the relentless pace of innovation. The single most important takeaway is to match your learning path directly to your target role. An aspiring AI researcher has a clear, non-negotiable need for a PhD, while a future machine learning engineer at a startup can thrive with a strong portfolio built through dedicated self-study. Your choice must be a strategic reflection of where you want to go. Be brutally honest with yourself about your learning discipline and personal habits. The romantic idea of self-study is appealing, but if you have a history of abandoning online courses, the structure of a bootcamp or master's program will serve you far better. Choose a path that works for your actual self, not the idealized version you aspire to be. Similarly, you must calculate the full cost of your decision. This isn't just about tuition. It's about the immense opportunity cost of foregone earnings and the time it will take to secure employment. A clear-eyed financial plan is not just advisable, it is essential for your long-term success and peace of mind. Regardless of which educational path you choose, two actions are non-negotiable. First, you must deliberately and consistently invest time in building your professional network. Connections open doors that credentials alone cannot, so make relationship building a core part of your weekly schedule. Second, you must start building projects immediately. While you are debating the merits of different programs, you could be creating tangible proof of your skills. The candidate with a mediocre credential but an impressive real-world portfolio will almost always beat the one with a prestigious degree but nothing practical to show for it. Demonstrated problem solving is the ultimate currency in the machine learning job market. The most successful professionals I have mentored are those who focused relentlessly on building and showcasing solutions to real problems, letting their work speak for itself. Your educational background is the vehicle, but your portfolio of projects is the fuel that will propel you forward. Choose your vehicle wisely based on your destination, your budget, and your personal style. But never forget that the journey truly begins the moment you start building. If you are ready to learn more about creating portfolio projects that truly stand out and get you noticed by hiring managers, be sure to check out the next video in this series. Good luck on your journey.